This, Rosa, is an Austen classic. What is it like to be playing Lizzy Bennet?
Oh, it's the job of a lifetime. It's the role that, I've always wanted to play, and I've loved the book for such a long time. And I've loved the adaptations that kind of expand across all different, the modern versions, the Keira Knightley, the classic BBC. And so when I got the audition through for this, I was so excited, especially because it was going to some of like my favourite regional theatres, and that it was such a lovely long tour as well. Yeah, so I'm really, really chuffed.
And you've said there, I mean, it has been a role played by so many different people, so many different versions. Does that put more pressure on you as an actress to make it your own and forget all that noise?
Yeah, it's a really lovely thing actually to see so many people's different interpretations of Lizzy Bennet, and quite an exciting thing to be able to put my own spin on it as well. I think there's something that is so universal about the character. She's so ahead of her time in so many ways, and she's got so much unapologetic character and humor, and also a bit of rage, which I find in that time was really, really frowned upon. And so getting to see how that's been done in all the different adaptations, and putting it into this new version has been like really inspiring and exciting.
Yeah, and also in terms of Lizzie, I think, like you said, she was ahead of her time, and she's gone on to inspire, I think, characters in modern day. There's actually a documentary, an Austen documentary on at the moment on the iPlayer, and basically Helen Fielding is saying, Bridget Jones was
Yes.
was kind of stolen from that, which I think it's just so iconic.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's so funny, isn't it, that growing up, I watched Bridget Jones before I knew about Pride and Prejudice. And you don't realize you've been influenced by Jane Austen until later on. And I love that she's really like entered the zeitgeist of the culture growing up.
I think it's really good for young people now to see Austen's work, and you're doing it as the period version, aren't you, right? And that's great in itself.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. I think it's really, it's visually really beautiful to get to see the costumes of that time. There is definitely within ours, there's a bit of like a modern thing here and there, which will kind of like keep things really new and interesting. The music in ours is like one of the most exciting things about it. I'm really excited for people to hear that.
Oh, now you're gonna have to tell us a little bit more about it. So is that gonna be period music, or are you switching it up with a little bit of modern day
So
music?
it will sound very period, but the songs themselves are going to be maybe not so period. That's all I'll say.
That is giving me, Bridgerton vibes, not gonna lie.
Absolutely. It's something that Bridgerton do so well, setting it in the Regency era, but really making it relevant to modern audiences. So yeah, yeah, definitely happy to be compared to them.
And you're no stranger to Bridgerton or period dramas, let's get that right. I mean, what has that been like doing that show?
It's been amazing, like working on Bridgerton. I joined in series 3. It was just such an incredible experience, and I learned so much and felt really welcomed. It felt a bit like joining school in year 9. Like everyone like had already been there for 2 years and knew each other, and so I was quite nervous, but everyone is just so welcoming, and I learned so much about that's about screen acting, as well as the era and that world. And I think it stood me in really good stead to do more work set in the Regency era for sure.
Yeah, definitely, and there is nothing like going back to live performances. I mean, I love the Octagon Theatre. I think it's gonna be great just to kind of you just really feel really close to the action when you're there.
Yeah, it's such a gift getting to work in the round, actually. You feel like so many of the rules of proscenium arch stuff, where you're just facing the front and having to kind of be mindful of whether your back's to the audience or not. It feels really liberating to not have to worry so much about that. And there's, of course, other things you have to be mindful of, but I've just really enjoyed creating this world with the rest of the cast and the director, because you get to kind of have everybody on all sides. So that's been quite a new experience for me, actually, and I've loved it.
I do think it's fantastic when I see things in the round because there is so much more that you've got to think about like the sight lines, how you're presenting yourself and everything. And I'm going to go back to the fact that this is such a brilliant love story. It is one of the tales of, the time. And I think you are a romantic at heart because I heard that you officiated a wedding recently. I mean, doesn't get more romantic than that.
Did. Oh my gosh. And that's one of my favorite love stories, actually. My friends, Lizzy and Alex, who I lived with during lockdown, they met just before the lockdown, and they, took a chance and decided to move in together. And for a lot of lockdown, it was us guys. And, meeting your friend's new fella, you never know. You never know if you're going to get on. But he was just the most fantastic person. And they make such an amazing team. And so last year, when they got married, it was an absolute honor that they asked me to officiate their wedding, which was, in this very Pride and Prejudice looking place with this incredible lake. And I got to sort of write the service completely from the heart, and they wrote their vows completely from the heart. And it was just, yeah, it was one of the most romantic days of my life. It was incredible. And I'd love to do that again, actually. Maybe, becoming an officiator of weddings is in the future for me.
Oh, watch this space. Oh, that sounds absolutely magical. Lizzie met her Mr. Darcy then, didn't she?
Yes, another Lizzy, exactly. Yeah, I always think of her when we talk about, she's my best friend who's a Lizzy. So yeah, when we're doing this play, I think of her often.
Now, great writing with Austen. You are a great writer yourself. I mean, you've done fantastic plays. Madame Overy, amazing. I hear that is going from stage to screen.
Yeah. I've been in development for a while with a production company. It's kind of taken lots of different iterations actually since first having the play picked up. The adaptation of Madame Overy. It's kind of evolved into something different now. It's been so many years since I did the play, which was such an incredible experience for me. And it's been so many years since I experienced cancer. But it'll always be something that I really want to write about because I found when I was diagnosed, I couldn't really find my experience written down or on screen, and I really wanted to do that. So yeah, I'm really hoping that before too long that will become a reality. But yeah, TV development's a long process compared to playwriting. Yeah.
Yeah. I know, but fingers and toes crossed because I do think things like that are brilliant when it's a production, a theatre production can spread more awareness
Mm.
because through that medium, you can reach more people, and so I really hope that happens. That would be fab. And obviously, your auntie must be very proud of her niece. I mean, was that the genes, do you think, or were you inspired by Julia Hesmondhalgh? I mean, it played a part?
Any genes I share with her, I'm grateful for because she's an amazing, amazing woman, and she's been an incredible auntie and friend to me. I think it was just seeing her growing up. I just thought she was the coolest person in the world. I still do think she's the coolest person in the world. And yeah, so I was probably about 5 when she was first in Corrie, maybe a bit younger actually. But when I started to realise that was her on the telly, and I just didn't realize that, the things that I loved doing already, which was like imagination games and playing make believe, was a job. And I was like, that's amazing. I want to do that. And of course, from there, she was a really amazing and invaluable source of information about this industry. So growing up, I had the massive privilege of knowing about where to go to see plays, that you could read plays as well as go to see them. And yeah, she's been an incredible support to me, and I'll always be so grateful. I'm proud of her. I know she is very proud of me, but I'm equally as proud of her.
Oh, well, she is an amazing person and just a great supporter of theatre and regional theatre like the Octagon. So, I love what she champions. Have you performed together yet on stage? Do we need to see this happen?
we'd love that to happen at some point. That is kind of the dream. No, we never really have. We've done Take Back together, which is her incredible theatre company that she runs out of Manchester, with Bex and Grant, and she's always been like my dream person I'd like to act opposite. So maybe one day that'll happen. Maybe we should write something so that happens.
I think you should. But in the meantime, we can come and enjoy you at the Octagon playing the absolutely fabulous Lizzy Bennet. Have you got a favourite line that you could share with us?
There's a line that's in the book that I just think is so funny, and it's said by Kitty in the book, but Mary in our production. And Mary is such a fantastic character, and especially in our production, there's a line that she says where she goes, "I do not cough for my own amusement." And I just think it's just the wit that is in Pride and Prejudice. It feels like it could be straight out of a modern play, and I love it.